Please help me welcome Disney legend, the voice of Tiana, Anika, Noni. Yeah! I know I said it, but thank you. No exaggeration. I've been excited for this, the moment that we announced. I think, like many others in this room, I have to say that Princess Tiana is my favorite. I mean, it's been a couple years since Princess and the Frog. 15 years. Yeah, you're shocked. I mean, obviously it's a Disney movie, a Disney princess movie, but sometimes you never know how they are going to go, that influence that we were going to have, right? It's safe to say that Princess Tiana has been one of the most influential princesses of all time. Did you expect that type of reaction? And two, what kind of weight does that put on your shoulders?
I did not expect that as a reaction. I was so excited to do the movie, and I was so happy because it had been a dream of mine since I was a child to be a Disney voice. And it wasn't even to be a princess voice, it was just to be a Disney voice. So that could have been a tree. I would have happily been a shoe. And I ended up being a princess. So I really did not know. And it wasn't until, I guess, people really started seeing it. And it was the night, one of the nights of the premiere week, and a man came up to me, a grown man, he had to be in his 60s. And he wanted to talk to me about it. He was so excited, and he started to cry. And he said it was the first time he had been able to buy a princess doll for his child. And so, of course, as we've gone along, the representation for little brown girls everywhere has been amazing. What has also been amazing is the amount of children who don't facially look like Tiana, who feel represented by her and want to be a part of her and feel that they are her. And in doing that, Tiana has really changed the landscape of princessdom. It has changed what the babies who look like me think of themselves. It has changed what their classmates and friends think of themselves and their friends. And I would be surprised if when I was a kid, if I wanted to be a princess in school, you know, I sometimes would be told, you can't be the princess. Why? Or if I wanted to play princess, I would pull out a yellow towel and throw it over my head for my hair. I don't think kids are doing that anymore. And that is a gift and an honor and something that I would carry and treasure in my heart for a very long time.
One of the things that I love about Princess Tiana is that the princess doesn't matter to her. She was set out to do things her way, and I think that is another form of that representation that you're talking about. Doing it your way, on your own, to achieve your goals.
Yeah, and I think that, you know, there are several things that are fantastic about Tiana and how she became, and one of the things, well, maybe two things that she just said. If she does have her own mind, she has her own plan. She decides to do something, she figures out a way to do it. She doesn't take no for an answer. She's not deterred by naysayers. And she is not deciding that her worth is dependent upon a man or a prince. I love that for little girls, I love that for women. I like little girls to grow up knowing that their worth is within. And you don't have to look outside of yourself for worth. You don't have to look outside of yourself to be told what you can do or can't do or how well you can do it. You have the power to make that a truth, make that a reality. And as someone who grew up in a very small town, I understood Tiana's journey very clearly from the first moment that I got those pages for the first audition. I was like, oh, this is actually me. I don't want to have a bakery, although I do bake, don't play. But I did want to do something that a lot of people were telling me was not going to be possible for me. I understood that journey, and it's really important to tell our children, in particular our girls, but to tell all of our children that life is possible and dreams are possible, and that they just need to put their mind to it and put their heart into it.
Absolutely. And before we get to our discussion, I want to shift gears because I myself, not only a Tiana fan, but a huge Broadway fan. Woo! A little bit about Broadway for a few moments.
Yes.
First off, a Tony Award winner, right? I have to ask, where does one keep a Tony Award?
This one keeps it at her parents' house. I love the Tony. I think it's amazing. It moves in little pieces and flick and it twirls and very planet. I think for me, I wanted my parents to be able to hold that because it was a culmination of years, and my parents never asked me to try to do anything else. They never said, don't you want a backup plan? Are you sure you don't want to do this, that, or the other? They were very supportive of everything that I wanted to do and the way that I wanted to pursue it. And for me, the moment of the Tony, hearing my name called, walking up to the stage, hearing that audience in Radio City Music Hall, that to me was the Tony. That was it, having my peers cheer for me and clap for me and being positive about it. Nobody being like, oh, I don't think she, none of that. People were really supportive. That was the moment, that was it. I don't ever want to lose the Tony, but if I did, I still have that experience. I still know exactly what that felt like. My parents were in the audience, my brother was in the audience, my grandmother was in the audience. That was the Tony.
We recently made a return to Broadway this past year, with Steve Carell. Allison Pill was in that as well.
William Jackson Harper from The Good Place.
Alfred Molina.
Molina, you probably know from Spider-Man. A couple people. Yeah, right. They were amazing.
What is when you have such not only just a star-studded cast, but a talented cast, and you've been surrounded by talent on a lot of your shows. When you're doing live theater, or when you're doing television, movies, it's one thing to be like, oh, okay, you get done watching them and then it's your turn. When you're doing live theater, do you ever catch yourself watching and be like, oh wait, it's now my turn?
No. Because then I'm in trouble. Then I've missed my line. But you do have times where, first of all, let me say that everyone in this cast was exquisitely talented, we know that, and pretty famous, we know that as well. But what was most extraordinary about this cast is that every single person was so kind and generous. We had so much fun. The last weekend, I spent a lot of my time backstage figuring out how to scare people when they got off stage. And nobody had a problem with that. And it was great. But I have done shows where, for example, when I was doing Carolina Change, there were a couple of numbers that were so phenomenal that if I wasn't on stage, I was waiting backstage in the wings to watch these people do their numbers because they were so amazing. And we had a drummer who played everything. His name is Clancy. I don't know if his last name is Ferocious, and I don't think there are many of him. He played pots, pans, spoons. He had everything down in this pit where he was playing drums for one of these songs. Percussion, I shouldn't say drums, percussion. And whenever that song came, I was running down to watch this man in the pit play his instruments because he was sweating. It was hot down there. He was phenomenal. And when you're able to work with people whose talent is extraordinary, part of the joy and the journey is being able to share that space and being able to see it and take it in. It is really, really thrilling to be around extraordinary talent and to feel that energy back and forth like a tennis match, hopefully. But sometimes you're not on stage and you can just watch, and it's glorious.
So one of the big things on Broadway right now is bringing pop culture, could be classic movies like Back to the Future or Outsiders, to more recent movies like Mean Girls, to Broadway, to the stage. Do you have a favorite movie that you would like to see translated on stage in a musical?
It's so hard. That's like asking somebody their favorite something. The moment you ask them, like, ooh. Well, I was lucky enough to do one of my favorites. I did Carmen Jones in 2018 in New York, off Broadway. Thank you. And it was phenomenal. And that had been a dream of mine for a very long time. I thought I was the only person who thought Mrs. Doubtfire should have been a musical, but apparently I was not. I was calling around, I was calling my attorneys, I was like, we should check for the rights. I think it should be a musical. And then they were nominated for a Tony. So I was late. But I don't know. And I'm honestly less interested in seeing this might come back to bite me. Don't do it. Don't put it online. Don't at me. I at this moment am more interested in seeing new works than I am in seeing something that we've already seen be adapted. Now sometimes that works and it's amazing and it's beautiful, but I think that there are so many amazingly talented minds out there that don't get a chance to see their work done. And I think it's important for us to cultivate the talent pool that we have. And sometimes you don't know the name, and that doesn't mean it's not good. It just means you haven't seen that person yet. And you're not going to get to the good thing if you don't give it a chance. So I'm really interested in seeing new works by new faces and new names, or names you haven't heard in a while, and just giving it a chance to be great.